Hi there, it's Carol here from We Get Digital. I just want to give you a really important piece of advice that over the years of building websites and working with our clients, we've found to be one of the biggest stumbling block, I suppose, in when people are doing their websites, and especially after you've got a website, when you're uploading images. So images are a really important consideration on many levels, whether it's getting it right, whether it's getting the right images. But what we tend to find is a lot of people seem to upload images straight from the camera. And if you're nodding in agreement, then this one is for you as well, or definitely for you. It's really important that you name your images with some keywords in them before you upload them to your website. So that's one thing that we can advise. Google really like it. One thing that Google hate as well, I'm using Google here really in general for all the search engines, but one thing that Google really hate is if images are too big. So you tend to take images, they're probably kind of 1 megabyte, 2 megabytes even on your camera, if you haven't set your camera to a very low resolution on your phone, or even just a proper camera if you're using it that way. So two things: lower the resolution of your images. They really shouldn't be any bigger than 100 KB, I suppose. If you're using the image for a full screen slider, then 100 kilobytes is fine. That's like, you can get 10 images at 100 kilobytes for 1 megabyte. So if you work that out, so if you've uploaded an image that's 1 megabyte, instead of 1 you could have 10 for the same weight. So name your images properly, get your images optimized correctly, and then Google will love you and they will not penalize you for that. There's one other thing as well that I really must mention, is you probably, if you've got a WordPress website, is the alt images. So sorry, not alt images, alt text on the images. When you upload an image, you might see that there's a section where you can put something called alt text, and this is alternative text, which means when people who are visually impaired are working on the internet, they've usually got settings on their computer, which will read out the alt text to them. So when they hover over an image, the alt text is what the computer will read out to them. And you must have the alt text in there, because this is where you become then compliant with the worldwide consortium regulations, and that is important as well. So there's all these little bits, but it's all the sum of the parts that go to making images on your website. They can not only be valuable because people are viewing them and they're good images to view, but also the robots and Google like them in the background, and so that you can gain brownie points with Google that help your rankings in the long run. So I hope you've understood those three things. So one is renaming the images with keywords in them. Two is reducing the size of those images, so that your website runs faster, the Google love them, and you can reduce the size of the images so that you would actually really not know the difference. You really don't know the difference because of screen resolution. And number three is get those alt tags onto every image on your website. Those three things alone are very valuable and very important things to know. If you've got any questions about them at all, or if you want any help with them, of course you can always contact us. That's Carol Mann from We Get Digital, trying to help you plan the internet.